Hi everybody, it's Geordie from Geordie Colours. Thank you for joining me today. So as promised, I said I'd do a little bit of a colour and chat with you today, which I intend to do, and I'm going to be working on this page, which is very nearly completed. All I have left to do is some shading on these leaves down here, and I decided to do this because I felt quite comfortable with it, and it's a page that I've been working on for the last couple of days, so I felt confident with it. As this is my first colour and chat, I wanted to make sure that I was doing something that I felt comfortable with. So this page was actually sent to me by the artist, and he kindly sent me several pages. They come from a book. This book is called Mandala Animals, and it's by Color Mania. You can find it on Amazon.com. I will leave links in the description box below to this book and the other one that I mentioned here in a second. But I just fell in love with this page, and I felt it was very autumnal, and so that is what I decided to do. But let me show you some of the other pages that he sent. So these are from a different book. This is from the book Bloom, which, as the name would suggest, is all floral images. So there's this page with the pansies and the violin. This one with the beautiful lilies. There is this one, which I believe they are lilacs. And then this one, which I have coloured, which are the hydrangeas. I did this one fairly quickly. I just kind of wanted to get a feel for the paper that I was using, which I'll talk about in a minute as well, and just an idea of how I wanted to tackle the page. So I completed that one. And then from the same book that this image comes from, there are some more pages. So this is the Animal Mandala book. So I have a dream catcher. This one, which I also really love, and again could be really autumnal, with the deer, the stag. This little cute koala, which I just think is adorable. And then this hummingbird page. But there are tons of pages in both books. These are just a couple that I printed out that he sent and I thought were really lovely. But I decided to go with this one today because, as I say, I really liked it and very autumnal. So I asked the artist about the book and about the paper quality, and he told me that they are printed on regular copy paper. So that's what I've printed this out on as well. It's just regular copy paper. It's not particularly good quality, but I wanted to make it as realistic as it would be with if I was colouring in the book. They are single-sided images in the book, so I can use my alcohol markers, which is what I've done here. So you can see I have based everything with alcohol marker, and I've just gone over with my pencils. I'm using Faber Castell Polychromos pencils to add some shading and depth to everything, and I really love how it's looking so far. So you can see that I have done all of this. All I have left are these kind of darker orange bits, and I've just realised there's a little bit there that I've missed as well, which I'll have to go back and fix later. But that's all I've got left to do. So the pages, you will notice, let me find one you can have a look at, are I would describe them as being very lightly grayscaled. I don't know if that's the best image, but they've kind of got, you can get an idea of where the shading is supposed to be. So it's very lightly grayscaled, I would say. That's how I would describe it anyway. Whether anybody else agrees with me, I don't know. Perhaps the floral pages are easier to see. Like this one, you can kind of see that there is some grayscaling on it. So there are some, but it's very light grayscaling. It's not that really dark grey. But it does help because you can see where the shadows are supposed to go, and I do really like that. The image was fabulous to colour. The only thing I would say was that this kind of piece at the top is quite faded, and I think that the reason being is that it's meant to be further in the background. But there was a few little bits where it was kind of like difficult to see where things started and finished. So for example, kind of around the tree branch here, there was no kind of line to indicate where it went. I just kind of used my alcohol marker to create, I mean, most of it was filled in. There's only tiny little bits where that happens, and where it did, it was easy enough to just kind of draw the branch in where I figured it should go. But that was, yeah, just one thing to note. But other than that, I love it. I think it's a beautiful illustration, and very grateful to the artist for sending it to me. As I say, I will leave links to these books down below if you are interested in it, or you want to try and color the same image that I've done here. I did print off an inspiration page for this image, and I don't have an artist's name for this, but you can see my printer's terrible, it's got lines all over it. But this was the inspiration image that I chose, and I just used it for the color scheme more than anything. I really like the idea of using this kind of blue in the owl, which I never would have thought of without looking at this image. So I decided to do that, so a blue and grey owl. And then I really like the kind of juxtaposition of using these warm colours around the outside and keeping my owl kind of in cooler colours with the greys and the blues. And I feel like it kind of helps the owl pop forward on the page. I'm hoping you can see it there nicely. The lighting is not particularly good, so I'm hoping that you can see that okay. But that's what I'm going to be working on while I do my colour and chat. So let me zoom you in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to be working, as I say, on these leaves. I'm going to keep this quite brief because it is my first time colouring on screen and I am a little bit nervous about it. Hopefully it will go okay. So as I say, I'm using my Polychromos pencils over the top. The colours that I'm using for this kind of brighter orange are sanguine, dark cadmium orange, and orange glaze. So those are my three pencils that I'm going to be using. And I always like to start with my darkest pencil and lay in my shadow first. Now I realise that this will be considered a no-no by many people who probably prefer the kind of layering method where you go in with a lighter colour first and layer up and add lots and lots of layers and darken up as you add the layers. This is just my method of doing it, and I realise that it won't suit everybody, and I realise that some people will probably think, what is she doing? I'm no artist, I don't have any formal training, I just do whatever feels right to me, and I like this method because I find it a lot quicker. I don't have the patience to sit and layer lots of colours over each other. I'm not that patient. I know I'm not. I love watching people do it on YouTube when I watch YouTube videos, but it's definitely not for me, and I know it's definitely not for me. But I'm always kind of in awe of people that do it, and I think it looks lovely. And obviously you can get a greater range of colours if you use that method of layering, because you know, as you layer colours one on top of the other, you'll get different colours coming through. But this is the method that I like. It works for me, and yeah, as far as I'm concerned, colouring is all about enjoying yourself and having fun, and yeah, so just do whatever makes you happy, whatever works. And to be honest, I kind of like the results that I get from this. I think it looks quite effective. Yeah, I don't like, you know, I'm not rushing. I'm not trying to get a page finished as quickly as possible. But I do enjoy kind of having a finished page. So I don't spend hours and hours and hours layering and going over one little area loads and loads. This is just the way I do it, and I enjoy it. So that's the main thing, really. Long and short of it, enjoy what you do. So yeah, this is all I do. I kind of just go in and add the shading with my pencil, and obviously I don't colour over the entire area unless it's kind of a deep shadow. I like some of that Copic marker that I've used underneath to show through. That's my kind of highlight colour, so I don't feel the need to add pencil to the entire image. I leave parts of it, just the Copic marker colour, if that makes sense, because that's kind of like my highlight colour. I hope I'm making sense. I really feel like I'm jabbering on and probably not making a great deal of sense, but hopefully you'll understand what I'm saying and see it as I colour along here. But yeah, I really like this image. It really popped out to me when the artist sent me the images. I was very surprised to get the email. I kind of actually went back to to Jamal and said, you know, I'm maybe not the best person to be asking for this because I'm pretty new to the whole YouTube colouring community, but yeah, I was very flattered. It was really nice. And I really enjoyed colouring this image and the flowers. I have to admit, I'm not a huge fan of floral pages. I do like them, but I kind of find that I have to be in the right mood for florals. I don't know why. So yeah, it's a little bit more of a challenge. I love animals and I love colouring animals. So that's probably why this page kind of was a little bit more appealing, I guess. But the pages are beautiful, really, really lovely. I believe the books are on sale on Amazon.com for around $7.99. I have no idea if that's a good price or not. And not living in the US, I have no idea, but I think it seemed, from what I could see, it seems fairly comparable to other colouring books of this kind of genre and type, and you know, paper quality. So yeah, like I say, I'll leave the link down below if you are interested in having a look at these books. Please do go and check them out. I don't get any affiliate links or anything. I don't get any money for advertising these. Like I say, there were just a few pages that the artist sent to me and asked me to have a go at colouring, and yeah, I enjoyed colouring this one in particular. I enjoyed colouring the flowers as well, but this one I really liked, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out. Oh, wrong colour. And like I say, it's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it. So yeah, go and check that out if it takes your fancy. I haven't done a huge amount of colouring lately. I have been inundated with, I think I've mentioned it in one of my other videos, but I have a kind of sister YouTube channel which is all about my card making and paper crafting, and I am a member of member of two design teams for different stamp companies, one being Heffy Doodle and one being Porcelain Stamps. And this month has been jam-packed with new releases. So we've had a ton of new releases from both companies, and they're all gorgeous. But I have been kind of really busy making samples for them to show off their gorgeous products. So I have been a little bit busy with that and haven't had a huge amount of time for my own colouring. I say my own colouring. Obviously, as part of my paper crafting, I do colour. I colour my stamped images and I use my Copic markers, but not. I guess I don't consider it colouring as in like this type of colouring where I go in with pencils and really spend, I wouldn't say a long time because I've just been telling you that I don't have the patience to spend ages on something. But yeah, this is definitely more colouring than I do when I'm using my stamps and images. So yeah, it's been a busy month for doing that sort of thing, and I have loved it. It's been great. So many beautiful new products coming out, and I've really enjoyed being a part of those design teams. But it is nice to have a little bit of extra time now to sit down and do some colouring as well, because you know, I really enjoy this hobby. And in fact, I think with my card making and paper crafting, that's the kind of aspect of it that I enjoy the most, is the colouring in of the images. And yeah, it's just fun, isn't it? And it's a really nice way to sit down and relax and kind of switch off from things for a little while and just have a little bit of me time. So yeah, but needless to say, I haven't had a huge amount of time to do much colouring lately. So I don't know if any of you saw my previous video where I talked about my colouring plans for the coming month or months, and wanted to focus more on my mythographic books. Yeah, I'm ashamed to say that I still only have one page completed in my mythographic books. But I'm hoping once I've got this page finished, I'm hoping that I'll go back and do a little bit more of my mythographics. There are several pages that I would like to do, and I am deciding which one will be next. I don't know. I'm flitting between a couple of different ones at the moment, so we'll see. But yeah, I want to get this one finished first because I really like it. I really love how it's turning out. My youngest son, my little boy, is he loves birds. He's got a real thing for birds. He loves bird spotting, and yeah, he's quite into birds. So I think what I will do is maybe get one of those really cheap frames from IKEA and pop this picture in one of those frames, and I can put it up in his bedroom, which hopefully he will like. So that's my plan for this page. I've got to say I normally prefer colouring in colouring books, but it's kind of nice to have something that you can actually pop into a frame, isn't it, and put up somewhere. Okay, sorry, my apologies. Speak of the devil, he comes running in. That was my little boy. But yeah, so yeah, it's nice sometimes to have a page that you can actually kind of display, I suppose is the word I'm looking for. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do with this page when it's finished, and pop it up in his room, and I think he'll enjoy it. So he really wanted me to do the hummingbird page, which I did really like, but I felt like it was a bit more of a summery spring page, so I might save that one for the spring, summer, and perhaps I could do a series of birds for him for his room, one for each season. That might be a bit ambitious, I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm intending to do with this page. Just, it's kind of nice to see, yeah, nice to do something with it, something a bit more than just have it, just lying around. Otherwise it would probably get damaged, and yeah, it's, yeah, I like I say, I'm quite pleased with how this one's turned out, and I really like the look of it, so I think that's kind of a good idea for me to do with it. Other than that, yeah, I'm hoping that I can get a few more pages done this month. I would really like to do, like I say, another mythographic page at least. And then my 2 new books arrived because apparently I have a real issue and I can't stop buying books. So I bought Witch Season by Jana Prosperina, and I bought Cute Witches by Jade Summer, and they both arrived, and I have flicked through. I haven't spent a huge amount of time looking at them because I feel like I'm I'm going to get distracted and want to do something in one of those books. But I really want to do another mythographic page first, and then I think I want to do one of the pages from one of those books. I really love the Jana Prosperina book. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. The pages are really beautiful, and whereas I only have one of her other books, but it's very much more kind of portrait style, so lots of portraits, whereas this one looks like it's got a lot more in terms of scenes, and yeah, kind of definitely they're all still pictures with people in them, witches obviously, but it's they've kind of got a bit more scenery going on as well, which I'm kind of excited about. I like doing people, but I'm not very good at it yet. I have a lot to learn in terms of doing skin and hair, so I really like the kind of scenery, and I'm really looking forward to trying one in that book. And then the Cute Witches book is, as the name would suggest, really cute. It's just really, really cute, and it's a book that I would probably use the same method as what I've done here, so use alcohol markers as a base and then shade over with some pencils, and I think I could get some really fun, vibrant looks from doing that. I think it would be really fun. So I'm looking forward to getting stuck into those as well. But as I say, I'm nearly done with this page. So I'll get this page done, and then hopefully this weekend I can choose my next mythographic project and yeah, get cracking on that. And I'm thinking this time with my mythographic, I'm going to maybe use a base of my Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils, and perhaps go over the top with my Polychromos. I've not tried that in my mythographic books before. I've tried, what have I tried? I've tried water-based markers, and I've tried alcohol markers, but I've not tried like a watercolor pencil medium before in it. So I think that would be quite fun and will work quite nicely, because the paper in mythographics is really nice quality paper, and it would stand up to a bit of rough treatment, I think, from some water. Not that I'm planning on using tons of water, but just adding a little bit. So I think that's my plan. I think that's what I'm intending to do, but we'll see. I may change my mind. I have been known to do that from time to time, but that's what I intend to do for now. That's the plan. So I'm just finishing off this little bit here. I still need to figure out exactly what I'm going to do in my background of this page. I really don't think I want to do like the whole page as a background. I think I just want to add a little bit, kind of almost in a circular shape through this area. So probably just in between some of these tree branches here, and then perhaps in these tiny little bits around here as well. And I think I'm going to keep it pretty simple, and just do like I might even just do black, and just keep it like it's like a nighttime kind of scene. I realize I've got no source of light to show off all these colorful leaves and stuff, but I think that's what I'm intending to do. So yeah, that I'm hoping it's going to turn out nicely. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to leave the video here for now. You've seen what I've done on one side. It's going to be much the same on here. I don't want to bore you to tears watching, me color the same old over and over again, but I'll get it done, and when it's finished I'll come back and show you the finished piece. Okay, so as promised, I went ahead and finished it all up, and this is it. I thought about adding some white details to all of the rest of it, but I decided just to leave it. I kind of like the way that it looks. I just did black pencil in the background and added a white paint pen over the top to give that little star detail in the background. And yeah, I really like the way this turned out. I think it looks kind of fun. I hope you enjoyed this one. I know it was probably a little bit boring. I'm working on my techniques, and hopefully next time I do a bit of a colour and chat, I'll have something a little bit more exciting to show you. I just really wanted to do something that I was confident with today for my very first one. But thank you for joining me, and I hope that I will see you again here soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.